All right, I'm here with Rodney Dupont, my business partner, chief formulator for Nutribollocks. Thanks, Rodney, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
So, Rodney, we've got all these new products coming out. Why don't you tell us about one that's your most exciting product that we have coming out?
I think our most exciting product for sure would have to be what's going to be the biggest launch in Nutrabolics' 17-year history. It's going to be our upcoming new Supernova Infinite.
Tell us about that. Tell us about the formula.
Supernova Infinite, we've been working on this one for over a year, and we knew that for it to hold the Supernova name, it had to be something really special and it had to wow people. And what we've created, I believe, is truly the absolute best performance, mind and muscle product ever brought forth to the market.
Tell us about the key ingredients in that product.
The biggest new addition to Supernova Infinite would most definitely be a whopping 2-gram dose of Pico 2. It's the highest dose of Pico 2 out of any pre-workout in the industry. Pico 2 is an amazing adaptogenic herb. On the clinicals, I'll show that it's amazing for strength outputs, endurance, VO2. At 2 grams, the saturation point for Pico 2, it's 2 weeks. Once you hit 2 weeks, you hit optimal results. And at 2-gram dose, you're getting the absolute highest dose for the optimal results.
And is there any other ingredients that you wanted to touch upon?
Yeah, new to the Supernova Infinite formulation would be the Megadose Nootropic blend that we've added. A lot of brands in this industry, they use what I like to call cheap energy. They jack their products up with caffeine. I've seen products 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 milligrams of caffeine in a product. Supernova Infinite only has 200 milligrams of caffeine, but it's the absolute best mindset product that you'll ever get. We're utilizing a whopping 600 milligrams of dendrobium. Dendrobium is an amazing ingredient for mindsets, focus, mood, energy. It's a very expensive ingredient. We're probably one of the only brands in the industry to use this type of dose. I think the highest dose before this product was 150 milligrams of dendrobium, so we've got 4 times the other leader. We've also got 500 milligrams of lion's mane. Lion's mane is an amazing psychoactive ingredient. 500 milligrams is basically a true standalone dose. Tremendous ingredient for energy, mood, focus, mindset, just feel good ingredient. And then we've also added DMAE at 350 milligrams, which again is a clinical dose. So, we beta tested tons of different ingredients in different formulations, in different ratios, at different concentrations. What we've put together is the absolute best nootropic focus experience you'll ever get out of a pre-workout.
Wow, and what can people expect to feel while they're on Supernova Infinite?
Beta testers that we've given the product to, they can't believe there's only 200 milligrams of caffeine. A lot of people who have taken pre-workouts over the years and really don't feel pre-workouts working anymore because of their adrenals, they take this product and they feel it instantly. It's an instant gratification pre-workout. You just feel completely in the zone.
How about muscle pump?
Muscle pump for sure. With the 2 grams of Pico 2, we've got 6 grams of citrulline malate in that. That's the clinically validated dose. That's also the maximum legal limit for citrulline malate in Canada. So we've hit the top level dose of citrulline malate. Pico 2, we've got 1.5 grams of betaine. Just tremendous for skin bursting pumps, strength, muscle output, power, you name it.
Nice.
Like I said, it's literally the absolute best mind muscle workout you'll ever have.
How long have you guys been working on this formula for?
Supernova, I believe we created the category 4 years ago. We were the first brand in the industry to come out with a 100% transparent, clinically dosed product that was priced more expensive than anything on the market and was better formulated than anything prior. So, Supernova has truly stood the test of time, in a category that's got so much competition because the product flat out works. But since then we've seen many different, similar products come to market, and we knew we needed an update. So we've been working on this for over a year, and we just knew we wanted it to be different, and we knew it had to frickin' wow people, and it really does.
So this is pretty much the biggest disruptive product that we're going to see from Nutribollocks in 2019.
This will be the absolute biggest disruptive product to hit the Canadian and international market, period.
And I mean, I know that, I've been in the marketing department, but I know that the formulation department, you've been running, and you've got quite a few products going on. Why don't you tell us about some of the other products going on right now?
Yeah, I think one of my new favorites or personal favorite products would be our upcoming new C8 Octane. C8 standing for caprylic acid. C8 Octane is the purest, most potent, most bioavailable MCT on the planet. We're utilizing a patented trademarked ingredient called C8 Vantage. C8 Vantage, it's a 95% pure C8 caprylic acid. And compared to MCT oil, which is 55%, or coconut oil, which is 5%, this is by far the purest and potent MCT on the planet. Amazing for ketone production, for a keto diet. Amazing for satiety, for an intermittent fasting. Keeps you full for long periods of time. Suppresses your hunger hormones. CCK output. Just an amazing product for fat loss, cognitive support, and keto dieting.
Nice. And I mean, does that come in pills, powder? What type of flavors? Give us.
So good question. This is actually a keto creamer. So we have two flavors, cinnamon dolce and caramel macchiato. Add it to your coffee, mix it up. It enhances your coffee and keeps you in ketosis. And then we have an unflavored version, which is great for mixing with your smoothie.
Great. So people that are low carb dieting can also use this?
Low carb, no carb, keto. It's the absolute perfect ketosis enhancer.
Male, female, doesn't matter?
And it doesn't matter.
We don't discriminate.
We don't discriminate.
Okay, great. And is there anything else from the science lab that's coming out for Nutribollocks?
We've also got two other new exciting products that we're about to launch next quarter. One is called Keto Hack, and it is the world's first fat-burning exogenous ketone. I'm going to save that one for the launch, but that one's really going to disrupt the keto category. And then the other product is called Exceed. So in a category, that's an endurance product, and the formulation is absolutely, hands down, the best formulated endurance product ever released. The endurance category hasn't really seen any updates in quite some time, and never before has there been such a potent stamina, endurance, hyperhydrating product ever brought forth for the sport nutrition market.
So I just want to talk to you, take it back to 2002 when we first started. Talk about what was it like when you first got the first package of supplements that I sent to you in the mail, and what the people, you were living, for a lot of people who don't know this, he was living in Toronto. What area in Toronto was it?
Thornhill.
Thornhill. Sharing, tell us about it.
Living in basically I'd call it a closet in a house in Thornhill, Ontario, with 4 other people, 2 guys, two girls. They worked at, what's it called?
Whiskey Go-Go?
Whiskey Go-Go, the strip club. 2 were doormen, 2 were exotic dancers. And I remember that package came. I couldn't wait. I was watching the tracking. I could not wait for that package to come. Came in this big brown box with tape all over it. And I remember bringing it to my room. I remember my roommates rushing up to my room, and I just broke that box open. And I just remember seeing it, and I mean, I was in awe, right? Yeah. I mean, they said nobody's going to buy that product. They were doubters, but I remember seeing that, and I remember being thankful for you for putting that all together back in Richmond, and I just knew we had something special.
Weren't a lot of the boxes or the bottles, from what I recall, were they frozen? Were some of them frozen or exploding caps?
I remember it came. It was, I believe it was. I think it was around December. It was a cold winter in Toronto. I remember, the caps were exploded, the bottles were broken.
And at the time, for people that don't know that, I think we were about 22 years old.
I was 22, you were 21.
Yeah, and we were pretty much broke. We didn't have much at all. I think I remember going to your place when you were living in Toronto, and I opened up your fridge, and the only thing was in there was tofu dogs.
Yep. Eve's Veggie Cuisine.
Yeah. and a Brita water filter. I still remember it. And glutabolic or glutamine, some sort of glutamine peptide.
Yeah, you got to stay anti-catabolic.
Yeah. So, you know, now fast forward, we're still here, you know, 2019. Is there any moments in time that you remember that you wanted to share, you know, with the people listening that, you know, you think might be powerful to share and inspiring?
I mean, I think that first year was as inspiring as it gets. For those of you who don't know, Jayson manned our headquarters in Richmond, which was out of his parents' games room, and I was living in Toronto. And I was hitting the road, going store to store. Jayson was manning the phones and handling all the operations and the distribution, conducting all the sales. And I mean, it was there were a lot of, you know, rough moments, rough patches, you know, eating a lot of canned tuna, you know, and just wondering how, you know, where your next paycheck's going to come from. But I think the two of us, we always believed in the brand. We believed in ourselves. We were, you know, pretty cocky young guys, and we knew we would make it. So, I mean, you just got to stay true to yourself and find your passion and go for it.
Was there ever a time that you thought to yourself that you were just going to throw in the towel and, you know, head back to Toronto?
I think once we started, I think that there was no giving up. You know, I don't think there was ever a time, no matter how rough it was, or you know, that I thought that this wasn't for us.
Yeah, and I mean, what was it like, you know, making the adjustment, you know, being in university, for a lot of people don't know this, you know, quitting university, giving up your job, leaving everything, coming to Vancouver to live in my parents' games room. What was that like?
It was an adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really all it was an adventure, you know. It's, I mean, there were some concerns, you know, there were a lot of people who were, you know, concerned, you know, telling your family that you're dropping out of university and you're starting a vitamin line, and you're moving across the country to do so. You know, people are doubters. You know, you and I, we both complement each other, and we both knew what we could do, and you just got to stick with it.
And I mean, for a lot of people, you know, that don't know, I mean, we didn't start with a lot of money. I mean, Rodney started with credit cards.
We needed 10 grand,
yeah.
You know, divided by 2, we each needed to put up 5. So yeah. I think you sold your car.
Yeah, I sold my car.
Jayson sold his car, and I didn't have any money saved up, so I literally applied for every single credit card under the sun, and I finally got accepted by MBNA. Thank you, MBNA, and I put my 5 grand on credit card, and the rest was history.
You know, in all this, you know, 17 years to date, you know, is there a fond memory that you have of the two of us that you wanted to share?
I think I think in that first year, you know, I remember we had a stack, you know, and it was clenbuterol, insulin, and GH stack, and our target sale, you know, was 3 of each, you know, to get minimum shipping, $311.64. You know, I'll never forget. And I remember getting store after store, and then there were some people who ordered. We had Silverio who ordered. How much did he order? 15,000.
He ordered 48 of each.
He ordered 48 of each. Yeah. You know, and that was a big accomplishment. Yeah. And then I remember he could go into Niagara Falls, Ontario, and meeting
Chris from
FitMass, who decided that he wanted to be a distributor, and we closed him on $17,000, you know, and I think at that point, you know, we knew we had something special. So that was that's definitely one of the fond memories for sure.
Is there anything, you know, that you think back on that you would have changed if you could do it all over again?
I would have signed Conor McGregor when we had the chance for $1,100 a month.
Yeah, we had the opportunity.
Yeah, we've had some true talent at Nutribollocks between Batista, Anderson Silva, Shogun Rua, Frank Mir, Khabib Nurmagomedov. I mean, that's a hall of fame of athletes. But there was one point when we reached out to Conor and his manager, and before he was a superstar, and we were negotiating with his manager to bring him on, and I think we just decided not to do the deal over, I think, $200 a month, and that's one that I think maybe looking back, we probably should have.
We should have taken advantage of that.
Yeah.
When would you say that Nutribollocks really took off and really like, that moment happened where we just broke through?
I mean, I think was it 3 or 4 years in Expo West?
About 3 years in,
I think 3 years in, after setting up in territorial distribution and having a few, distributors international picking up the brand from doing the shows. There was one point when you and we exhibited at Expo West in Anaheim, and we had our current distributor for Canada, Peter Palfalvi, come to the booth, and I remember a friend of mine from the industry brought him to the booth, and when I knew who he was, I wouldn't let him leave the booth, and we finalized a deal with him that was a major high six-figure deal for the exclusive rights to our brand for Canada. We've been with him ever since for the last 15 years, and at that point, that gave us, I think, some the equity and the revenue to really make some big moves in the industry.
And I mean, when you look back and you see all the, rebrands that Nutribollocks has put forth, I mean, how do you feel about this latest rebrand and what the industry can expect?
We just got back from Mr. Olympia in Vegas, and the first thing out of everybody's mouths when they see our new packaging is holy, holy F. I mean, wow. I mean, it's everybody loves it. The packaging is clean. It's so on point. It's appetizing. It's better packaging than I've ever seen from any brand. And everything that we're offering between transparency, clinically dosing. Now we're offering third-party testing by the largest food and pharma testing agency in the world, Eurofins Labs, halal certification. I mean, we've got everything covered for someone who's demanding the best and someone who wants, who wants to trust what they put into their bodies.
Is there any territories currently open for people that are watching this that maybe want to distribute our brand?
For sure, we have some openings. Mexico is an opening for us. We have an opening in India, and we're looking for a new distributor in Bangladesh.
And how would people get in touch with you or us?
Yep, just international at Nutribollocks.com or Rodney at Nutribollocks.com.
And I mean, is there anything that you wanted to talk about today that's going on in your life or just in general?
I think, we just, everything is going as good as I think it could be here at Nutribollocks. We just got back from an amazing Mr. Olympia. We've got this launch of 4 new products. We're going to be exhibiting at the biggest show in the Middle East in December, Dubai Muscle. We're planning a major international tour with our top athlete, Henry Pierre. He's going to cover Dubai. He's going to cover Vietnam. He's going to cover China for us. Honestly, I can't wait for 2020.
One of the things actually that came across my desk that I thought I'd bring up now is we have a new formula with Mass Fusion. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, Mass Fusion was probably one of the first big bag gainers to ever hit the market worldwide, and I'm proud to say that. It's definitely stood the test of time. It's been a top gainer, both domestically and international for the past dozen years. After a dozen years, we finally reformulated it. The proteins are all staying the same. The carbs are all the same. They're all complex carbs derived from sweet potato, quinoa, glucose polymers, waxy maize. But we've lowered the sugar, and we've lowered it significantly. There's per 100 grams, there's only 4 grams of sugar in Mass Fusion. And just coming back from the Mr. Olympia, and I've had distributors do a comparison against other gainers, big bag gainers, clean gainers on the market. And in terms of macronutrients and formulation, we literally have everybody beat hands down on that.
Tell us a little bit about, does that come in multiple sizes, flavors? Is there a new size out?
Yeah,
give us an insight.
We've just repackaged Mass Fusion into a 12-pounder. It also comes in a 5-pounder. It's got 4 flavors: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and my favorite new flavor, salted caramel. Mass Fusion too. It is the first ever third-party tested gainer on the market. So just like HydroPure, we've gone now through a third-party testing process with Eurofins Labs for mass fusion, where every single batch of every single lot of production that we make for mass fusion is tested by Eurofins. Once it comes off the lines, we actually halt everything. We send samples of every lot to Eurofins. They do a testing just to ensure it either meets or beats label claim. If you look at the packaging, there's actually a QR code on the front of the packaging. You take your smartphone, you scan the QR code, it pops up the third-party C of A right there, right in front of you. I just got our latest batch of results from Eurofins. Every serving of mass fusion is supposed to have 50 grams of protein per serving per label. The latest batch just tested out at 54.5 grams of protein per serving. So almost 10% more protein in the product that's on the label, which is absolutely unheard of in the industry.
Wow. And I mean, is there a halal certification that just came through for Nutribollocks? I heard about that through the grapevine.
Yep, the grapevine is correct. We just went through an extreme and lengthy process with Ifanka, which is the leading testing agency for Muslim certification. And now each and every single protein that we manufacture is halal certified by Ifanka. We have all the documentation to prove it as well. It actually lists the halal certification on every single label and bag of protein that we make. So for some of these markets like Southeast Asia and Middle East, it's a huge thing and a big accomplishment for us. I mean, there's very few, if not, I don't even know any sports nutrition brands and proteins certified on the market by Ifanka. Coming back from the Olympia, I met with some of our distributors from Pakistan, India, Trinidad, and Southeast Asia, and they say this is the biggest thing to hit those markets. So if you're a distributor in any one of these regions where that means something, definitely give us a call.
Why don't you tell us, something, when it comes to Nutribollocks and some of the challenges that we face, talk about some of the bombs that have been dropped on us, and how we've sort of managed to work through them. Give us some juicy stuff that's been going on.
I mean, every day you walk through that door, you have to wear your fire hat because there's literally a fire to put out, and multiple fires to put out every day. We sell our brand into 40 different countries worldwide, and in our industry, it's regulated like pharmaceuticals. You can't just pick up the phone and get a call from Brazil and start shipping product. There's a huge and lengthy regulatory process that comes into play. That process can take 6 months, that process can take 2 years, and that process is constantly changing. So you really have to stay on top of everything, have the right people involved, and know how to adapt and shift and literally make shit happen.
And this industry, it's filled with, great people, not so great people, criminals, drug dealers. It's quite a mix, this industry.
Characters.
Yeah, characters, how have you sort of, if you want to say, meshed with the characters, and what is your claim to fame in terms of building your name, Rodney Dupont, building the Nutribollocks name? Like, what advice can you give people out there that are, maybe they're thinking they want to get in the industry, and how did you do it,
For me, relationships are everything. My word is my bond. I'm grateful to call our partners, my friends, and just like you handle everything on the marketing side, I handle and manage everything on the sales side, and I deal directly with every single international partner that we sell to, and not just our distributors. I also deal with the retailers and the staff and the management, and I'm as hands-on as can be, for a co-CEO. But I think as long as you believe in what you're selling, as long as you're passionate about what you're selling, and as long as you're not, you're selling what you're supposed to be selling and not cutting any corners, the rest just falls into place, But if there's anything that I think it's, relationships and just doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay, great. Did you have anything at all that, before we wrap this up, that you wanted to, any announcements, anything at all that you wanted to let the viewers know about?
Like I said, we just got back from the Mr. Olympia. We just got a great award that I got right over here.
So yes, tell us about the supplement or Popeyes Supplements 2020 Product of the Year feed. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, grateful to for us to receive this award in Las Vegas at the Popeyes Supplements Gala. Popeyes is actually just won our Global Retailer of the Year award. There are 144 stores coast to coast across Canada. And at the gala, we were awarded the 2020 New Product of the Year for Feed Bar. So what that means is out of every single product in the industry, whether it's protein, gainer, pre-workout, BCA, out of any category, Feed was the hottest, most exciting, best new product release in the last 12 months. So we are appreciative. You know, we're grateful for this award. Feed has truly, I mean, I think you can say it's absolutely taken off even beyond our own wildest dreams. We knew we had something special with Feed. It's 100% natural, real food made with such ingredients as whey, oats, sunflower seed, nut butter, chia, sweetened naturally with the superfood honey. I mean, it's a bar unlike any other bar. It's the highest protein real food bar in the category, and the taste is it's not even normal how good this bar tastes. We've been having some production issues trying to keep it in stock, but we have some huge plans for Feed in 2020 and above. And yeah, I mean, look out for Feed. It's about to really disrupt the protein bar category, both domestically and abroad.
Beautiful. Let's see the trophy. Show them the trophy. Let's see. Boom. All right. Listen, Rodney, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And yeah, that's a wrap.